Um, and in this episode, I'm gonna speak about why liberal blacks and black wokety wokes are going to continue. It's not gonna stop. They are going to continue. I want you to understand what I'm saying. Hear me, listen to me. This is why blacks, liberal blacks, wokety woke blacks, this is why they are going to continue to be disposed of, whether it be by each other's own hands or by the police. I'm about to show y'all two videos on why. Once again, not the conservative black man, not the conservative black man or woman, not the black king and the black queen, not the blacks with the ruling class mindset, but the blacks that's quote unquote liberal, the quote unquote wokety woke, and the quote unquote working class quote unquote blacks that's always crying and just want to hug from the white man. This is why they gonna continue to die in the street, whether it be from the hands of the police or the hands of another liberal black. Reason why conservative blacks, reason why ruling class blacks, reason why black kings and black queens are not going to be succumbed to these type of situations or killed in the street by police or killed in the street by liberal blacks, because we have a ruling class mindset to the point of when we pulled over by the police, however we feel about the police is personal, and we keep that separate. But most of us support the police, right? Because we understand that in life, in any field, whether it be the medical field, whether it be churches, wherever you go in life, there's gonna be good people and there's gonna be bad people, and the bad people gonna always get quote unquote. I'm trying to find a word I'm looking for. They gonna get weaned out in the end. Whether it be through self-sabotage, or through them putting themselves in a position for somebody else to sabotage them. The bag gonna always wing itself out. Always. You ain't gotta worry about that. But you have, like, for example, you have 250,000 malpractice issues every year. Nobody stopped going to the hospital. Nobody don't hate doctors. So when we see these preachers that make mistakes, or I ain't gonna say make mistakes, whatever they do, and we want to hate all preachers, or we see certain cops do certain things, and it's important for me to make this video in the height of the Todd Nichols situation. That's why I'm making this video. But all cops is not bad. Majority cops are good people. Now don't get it twisted. They got a such thing as good turn bad. They got a lot of cops right now, and they're under so much scrutiny, and people hand them and disrespect them so much. And to the point where I'm not saying that they turning bad, but they just, because I see them sometimes, and you'll speak to them, they won't even speak back. You'll hold a door for them, they won't say thank you, especially being that I'm a black man, because they just kind of like at wit's end. A lot of them trying to get to their little, time where they can retire and just leave this alone, because this just the way cops are being demonized by the government officials on the Democratic Party side, of course, the fake black leaders, the fake black preachers, not all but most. It's just too much scrutiny that they under, and they can't even do their job like they need to do it. And so it's like, why do it? Because there's already a dangerous enough job being a police, right? You never know if you're gonna return home. Every day you put that uniform on. But I'm about to show you two videos. And these videos are going to let you know. So all the marching that they do and the rioting and because it's like right now they doing all this marching and foolishness across the United States, especially in black cities, and they doing this marching and protesting and all this for what? The officers who killed this young man, Todd Nichols, have been arrested, charged, fired. What else do you want? His family gonna get a large settlement. What else do you want? We want to change. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to change. You liberal, black, wokety woke. Because that's the only people out there. Black conservatives are not out there for that. Black conservatives do not participate in that type of stuff. Black conservatives are black kings and queens. Black conservatives have ruling class mindsets. Right? We not out here begging for a hug from the white man. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and do for ourselves. And we understand that a lot of these situations, if not all, but most of these situations dealing with police and these black men or women could be avoided if people would just comply and keep their emotions intact. And for the people who say, well, what about the people who having mental health crisis, or what about the people who under the influence? Listen, those people are even more dangerous. Those people are even more dangerous than somebody who not under the influence or who do have all their mental capacity. So what are the cops supposed to do? Oh, he's a mental health issue. He's having mental health crisis. Oh, he's under the influence. So I'm supposed to not do my policing how I'm supposed to do it? I'm not his mother. I mean, I'm the police. I'm speaking from the police standpoint. The police is not his mother. The police is not his father. The police is not his family member. In other words, those people are supposed to say, well, you know, he having a mental health crisis, or he under the influence, he's a drug addict. Man, the police, that's not his job. The police is the human garbage disposal. He's supposed to be getting rid of the garbage and to protect and to serve. And if you under the influence or you having a mental health crisis to the point and you done something and the cops have to be involved, listen, that's not the cop job to do all that. His job is to fix the problem. That's his job. His job is not to come out there and talk to you about what's going on in your life. His job is not to give you a 12-step program on how to leave drugs alone. His job is to restrain you and get you under control. Because apparently, if he was called, you putting somebody or yourself or somebody in your surround, somebody in harm's way, and so the cop was called to take care of the situation. That's not his job. People need to get this understood. The police job is not to be a counselor. The police job is not to be a rehab instructor. That's not the police job. The police job is to protect and serve. Protect and serve. Protect other people from a violent person and or thing. And if you under the influence or you having a mental health crisis, that means you could possibly be a threat to yourself or others. And so the police has to protect the community from you. It's not their job to go say, well, he was drunk or he was high. That's not the police issue. Right? But you know, like I said, this shift is taking place, and a lot of people don't understand it, or they can't perceive it because they don't understand what the thing that happened in the spirit happened before they manifest in the physical. And the shift is already happening in the spiritual. And see, you blacks who liberal, wokety wokes, blame everything on it's never your fault. You got a judgment coming to you. And you know what? Moving forward, you're going to be, once again, and I say this in all my videos, you're going to be reformed or be removed. You're going to be a peasant or you're going to be a casualty. Because we not going to have time for dead weight. Us blacks that's conservative have the ruling class mindset, and we king. We got our crown. And this is why I made this channel. Because there's a lot of kings out there and there's a lot of queens out there who don't have their crown yet, because they kind of like, they don't know what's going on. They see certain things and they know something ain't right, but they really don't understand. And my voice along with others, I'm not the only one, but my voice is going to solidify them as who they are. But they know that something ain't right. They know that they feel different. They know that they don't agree with a lot of the foolishness that these black wokety wokes and black liberals got going on. Right? But so, and it's also a warning to the liberal blacks. You still got a little time, but the clock is ticking. Right? But these two videos that I'm about to play, of course I'm gonna chime in, I'm gonna speak as they go on. It's two videos to show you black man and black woman why the black liberal, doesn't matter they woman or male, the black wokety woke, the black that just want a hug from the white man, just want a job, just want to, get by. This is what's coming to you. You got a judgment coming to you, and you're going to keep being killed in the streets by police and other black liberals. So all that marching, y'all can, I know people still gonna do it, but the marching doesn't even make sense at this point, because people who march, you marching for nothing. You marching for a cause. That you marching for a cause. Um, it's almost like you marching to for nothing because it's quote unquote, we all know this with these black liberals, these quote unquote black leaders. They never have an end game. Every blue moon you might hear them flirt with the reparation situation, but other than that, they have no end game. All they want is to be looked at and affirmed by the white man. They want a hug. That's it. That's all they want. They want the white man to say, "Okay, okay, we understand." And these liberal whites, they have did that. The liberal white. This is why you see when these, like for example, give you a prime example. During the Tyre Nichols situation, it was black cops. It was a black victim. Why is white people out there? Why is white people out there? I'll tell you why. That's the white liberal. That's the white liberal who love the black man. That's the white liberal who love the black woman and worships the black woman, worships the black man. That's the white liberal who Malcolm X warned us about 60 years ago. That's the white liberal who just want to hold hands with the black man and let him know, yeah, man, you're right. It's the cop's fault. I'm just because, and I'm white, and my people was racist, and they're holding you back, and you're not equal to me because I get white privilege and you don't. That's all the black liberal want is for somebody, for the white man to come say, you know what, you're right, and give them a hug and say, you can cry on my shoulders. And that's what the white liberal have did, right? And so I'm gonna play this first video, right? Let me make sure the volume up so y'all can hear good, and I'm gonna chime in.
But when you all are jumping out and you want to run and you want to fight the police, we have to ask the question, what is the root of that? What's happening in our community that our people are responding this way?
Yeah, I think what the argument's going to be is, you drop a black cop into a racist institution and he's going to become racist against black people. That's the argument. There will be no discussion other than perhaps on this show, and we'll try to spark one among other people, is like, if you drop a young black man's mindset or mind into a culture that says F authority and you don't have to respect authority and you should run from the police, then don't be shocked that people that have one of the highest stress jobs in all of the world get frustrated when there's non-compliance and lose their cool and faculties and do something criminal. And that's not...
I want to pause it when he said what he just said. And he's about to say it, but I'm going to say it too. Not justifying when these cops act this way, but let's be honest. These cops are people too, right? These cops, that's what people don't understand. And guess what else? They do have cops that are racist. They do have cops that was bullied in school and now they a cop and they went to be a cop just so they can have power. They have that, not to mention the average everyday cop go through stress. Just waking up in the morning, kissing his family, leaving, going on one of the dangerous jobs in America is stressful enough. Not to mention these people, like I say, is normal people. They have stress in their life just like the average person. They have marriage issues. They have issues with their children, issues with their family. These people have the same issues that people have. People somehow forget that police are people. And so here it is, they got all this stress combined on them, and they dealing with you, whoever you is. Well, we know who you are. You the liberal black. You the liberal black. You the wokey woke black, right? And so they dealing with you, and you then push them to do something maybe criminal by beating you to death, or maybe not criminal, but over excessive force. Well, that's criminal too. You didn't force them into doing something that they really didn't want to do or really wasn't planning on doing, but because of your non-compliance mixed with they already stressful life, it's like gasoline and fire. It's gonna explode. And it's not gonna turn out for the person who's being arrested because, of course, there's always gonna be more cops than it is that person. And sometimes it don't turn out right. Sometimes these cops getting their life took. You know what I'm saying? But more and more they stopping that because they taking all the protocol and steps to make sure that whatever happened, they make it away with their life. You know what I'm saying? And so that he got a valid point right here, and I agree. Not justifying it, but I agree. People are human, no matter what they job description is, no matter who they is, president, governor, they are people at the end of the day.
Using the police, but it's just like a real honest conversation and I get why Cyril and Davis, particularly at this time, can't engage in that conversation, but those of us in the media certainly have the freedom to engage in that situation. And if our young people are going to continually grow up in a culture, it's not even the young people. Let's say that Tyree Nichols has two great parents that are heavily involved in his life. But if he grows up in a culture, and Memphis certainly seems to be a part of this culture in terms of the swallowing of hip-hop and baby mama culture and the worship of women and the matriarchal system and a lack of respect for male leadership and authority, Memphis certainly has that, and many black communities have that. We need to what does that do to our kids, and does that make them exhibit behavior that puts them in jeopardy in any encounter with law enforcement or authority? With a coach, last week I saw a video of some young kid just talking crazy to his teacher, and the teacher eventually snapped and beat him up, and the teacher was wrong. But he's literally sat there and took like 10 minutes of this kid just talking crazy. Like, nobody should ever talk to an authority figure, a teacher, anybody like that. But we've...
But kids are not being raised in a home with fathers today. We know in the black community, 75% of children are raised without a father. And without a father being raised in a home, they're not taught discipline, they're not taught structure, they're not taught to respect authority. Because we all know when the young man, especially the young man or the young woman, but the young man especially, by the time he get 10 or 12, he have no respect for his mother, none at all. And what I mean by he have no respect for her, he respect her as his mom, he love his mom, but he don't respect her as an authoritative figure because she's the person who's giving him love, nurturing, and if he's a boy, especially the boys in the black community, they get more love and nurturing than the little black girls. So he don't really have that respect for his mom that he would have for his dad. And like for I some of these women, I've seen it, I've dated them, these single mothers, and they'll tell a little boy 50 times to do something. And of course we know that a daddy won't tell his son 50 times to do something, and he gonna respect it because this man is a bigger version of him, and he respect that. And so a lot of young men is not being raised around that, and they don't respect authority, and the police is not gonna tell you 50 times like your mama did, right? You going to respect the police, and he don't care about you, right? And if you a black man or woman, he majority of the times he really not gonna take no precaution with you because he know how dangerous you could be. Whether you be a lawyer, as we gonna show in this other video, a lawyer, a judge, doesn't matter. You particularly might not be a representation of the black culture, but your skin color is. And so what people see coming from our people that come from our rappers, even our athletes, they can't behave. The athletes, the actors, even actors, they can't behave. At Oscars, slapping people. Like, we are a race who are overly emotional and we act off impulse. And so when they see all this, they can't take that chance. And even though you may be a lawyer, you may be a judge, you may be a doctor, they don't know the difference. All they see is your skin. And we could play this game about, well, people shouldn't judge. Well, yeah, people shouldn't judge, but guess what? The world we live in, people gonna judge you by the things you have, by the way you look, and by the way you carry yourself. That just is what it is. It ain't no changing that. We gotta live and accept it. That you can't change it. You will be judged everywhere you go. You're gonna be judged around people of your own race by the thing that you have or the thing that you accomplish. You're gonna be judged by other races by the color of your skin. This is just life. It cannot change. It will not change. You have to accept it and live with it and see how you can use it to the benefit of your life. But that's another story. But you will be judged. And so when you getting pulled over by somebody, specifically a white cop or a cop of another race that's not black, he don't know if he don't have a familiarity with black, come up with black, was raised around black, he don't know you no different than who you is by your skin color. And as a black man or woman, we all know that whether we know that it's the majority of representation of blacks on all platforms, TV, sport, whatever you want to go to, projects that we're angry, we're overly emotional, and we very compulsive. That's what it said. We know all not like that, but I will go off this limb and say most of us are.
Promote social media, and everybody's promoted this mentality of disrespect for authority, and we talk about it constantly on this show. But when you abandon the natural order, and you celebrate abandoning the natural order, man, woman, and child, family, and all that comes along with that structure, when you abandon all that, don't be shocked that you keep running into problems with authority figures, regardless of what color they are, regardless of what age they are.
Exactly, brother. Exactly.
These 5 police officers, I think the longest one had been on the force 6 years. And so I think they started having a black police chief like 12 years ago. And so these police officers in Memphis have grown up under black leadership and certainly, aren't members of the KKK. What is it about what's coming out of our young people that put us in constant conflict with authority?
Right.
I just told you, Jason, they not raised with fathers. 75% of black men and black women are not raised with their fathers. So they don't know what it's like to respect authority. All they know is that energy that comes from their mothers. Overly emotional. Overly compulsive. Everything is about, they can't control, they overly emotional. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from mama. The father creates structure. The father creates discipline. The father shows and makes it be known how to learn how to respect authority. And the majority of these fathers are not in the home. And some of them weaken fathers. And this is why I gotta, this is why I speak all the time in my series, Message to the Black Man. Watch who you inseminate. Because the majority issue that's going on in the black community, I will lay the blame on men, whether it be the women saying that they're independent, whether it be whatever the black women got going on, you can hoop and holler on that. I blame the black men majority of the time, because a lot of these men, they left their daughters, and their daughters turned out to these OnlyFans models, these thotty, these city girls. So many of our brothers that left their women with these children, just spreading they seed, which they not king, because we know king don't do that. But a lot of these brothers just spread their seed all over the United States, and so now they got all these children and not helping these women. So these women have embraced helping, taking care of it themselves. They seen their mama do it, now they doing it. And so that's why they say, "Oh, I'm a single mother." They proud to be a single mother. They proud to. They proud to say I'm IND. They proud to be independent. I seen a post the other day on social media, and it said that how come when baby daddies, how come when the father's struggling he a bum, but when the mother's struggling she doing her best? Because the man is the head. The man is not equal to the woman, and it seems like the black community, the only community that don't understand it. Every other community is thriving. Not saying they perfect, but they understand that they respect the masculine principle in other communities. Why is that? Because the masculine principle take care of what he's supposed to take care of. But in our community, men they not men no more, and it's because a majority of them are being raised by women, and a man cannot learn how to be a man by a woman. It's impossible. possible. What does that mean? Am I saying he can't be a successful person in life? No, but he cannot be taught. He cannot learn how to be a man without a man teaching him. And you got men who like, even if you look at people like Shannon Sharp, use him for example, but there's a whole bunch of them. But look at people like Shannon Sharp, was raised by his grandma, made by his mama, and he's still to this day to the point where he cannot control his emotions. 50-something years old, Hall of Famer, all the money in the world, he still can't control his emotions. Why is that? Because in his formative years, he didn't have a man around. And so he was raised by his grandmother, raised by his mother, and this is the product. This is the product. Overly emotional, can't control his emotions. Can't control his emotions. And if his grandfather was in the house, he don't never talk about him. Because, back then, a lot of time the grandfather was working a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really know the whole situation with Shannon Sharp, but you never hear him bring up his grandfather. He always bring up his grandmother. Maybe his grandfather had passed away. But men cannot learn how to be men and control their emotions unless they raised by a man. They raised by a woman, they may be successful in life, but they're going to always have that feminine energy. They're always going to be chemically imbalanced with too much feminine energy in them. And that's how they going to move in their life. That's why that's why a lot of times they can't have a relationship with women. Because they are a woman inside a man's body. Right? And so, when you're dealing with these type of situations, that's why that's one of the main issues in the black community. Whether you talk about the school system with the teachers and the principals, whether any situation you dealing with in the black community, black children, majority who are being raised by a single parent, they have an issue with respecting authority.
Because we can say, why are the police reacting to people over simple traffic stops? But we have to ask the question, why are we responding this way to simple traffic stops? Even if your license are revoked, why are you running and fighting and trying to, not in this instance, but I'm thinking about the one in Atlanta when he tried to reach for the police's taser. Why are you responding this way in simple traffic stops when you can just do what you're...
Now hold on, I want to interrupt this sister. Now that she really this is a video they dropped I think yesterday or the day before in response to the Tyre Nichols situation. Clearly you can see in the video now that all we didn't see the whole video of the Tyre Nichols situation. They started off when he's pulled out of his car. But when the cops finally got him and they all standing around talking, you watch the whole video, which most people don't. They just let the news tell them something. But I watched the entire video, and in the video, the cops are saying that, hey, he grabbed for my gun. And the other officer was saying as well, yeah, man, I seen he grabbed for your gun. Nobody's speaking about that. Also, they were saying that he was running from them, weaving through traffic, which could have put other people in potential danger. Nobody's talking about that, right? We got to stop talking about and being reactive to the situation after it already happened and teach people to be proactive. How is that? Comply with the officer. Stop, get out of the car, do what the officer said. If you is wrong, if you is in the wrong, just go ahead and take your ride to jail. But at least you'll still be alive. Don't try to hold court on the street and get beat up or killed. Just go take your lick. Or if it's not a situation where you're going to go to jail, just get your ticket and take care of him now. And like I always say, if you feel like your rights have been violated, get the officer name or badge number, which will be on the ticket or the report, and take it from there. Go to the police station, go to the department and report it. Take my word for it. It will be taken serious. Because sometimes people feel like, well, if I do that, it's not going to be taken serious. Well, first of all, if you don't do that and you hold court on the street, it's going to be worse on you anyway. But go do it. Go file a report, and I guarantee you they take care of it. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. But like I say, even if you say, I don't want to go through all that, I'm a whole court on the street, it's a lose-lose for you. You're going to end up dead or in prison. Beat in jail, beat up, or dead. Lose for you, man.
Supposed to do and move on. It would be different, and we've seen this, I think, with Philando Castile, when he let them know he had a firearm and he really wasn't doing anything in his seatbelt and was still shot. But when you all are jumping out and you want to run and you want to fight the police, we have to ask the question, what is the root of that? What's happening in our community that our people are responding this way, or people in general, black or white. What are we doing? Are we creating something that's going to be worse, or are we helping the situation? And I think we're making things worse by the way we respond and the way we fail to have these hard conversations. The blame, we always have to go back and look at the home and look at the family, and what are we teaching these kids? We have to do that, but for some reason, that's a hard conversation that we don't like to have. Sometimes, even amongst each other, it's always easier to point the finger and blame someone else. And that's what we've started to do, even with this situation. Just to say these are the faces of white supremacy is, again, pointing the finger at somebody else instead of pointing the finger to the home and the way where it started, because he could have easily, as you said, complied. And we have an issue with conflict resolution skills across the board. So why did these officers respond this way, and why did Tyree respond the way that he did? We have got to go back to the home, go back to the beginning, and teach people how to respond to conflict, because all of this, I'm gonna beat your ass and you ain't gonna do this and who you think you are, and it don't always end up well. This is when keeping it real goes wrong on both sides.
And just to add in on the last thing she said, if you watch that video, once he was snatched out of the car after the cops said that he was weaving through traffic and whatever, and they blocked him in. Once he was took out of the car, because we all know, let's be honest, man. If you listen, and it's just this just to people with a brain. If you really believe in your brain, because we know a lot of people today drones, they really brain dead. But if you got a working brain, you know it's common sense that them people didn't just, even though we didn't see him weaving through traffic and running from him, we know that the police didn't just pull him out of the car. The police didn't just pull him over, get out their car, and just yank him out the car like that for nothing, right? We also know that when he finally wiggled out, I don't know how he did it, but when he finally did wiggle from out of the grips of all them police officers and take out running, why would an innocent man be running? Why would an innocent man be trying to get away from the police? I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, he was scared. Scared for what? What you scared of? Somebody, they got body cam, somebody these days gonna have a phone. This is gonna be reported. So what are you scared of? You scared because you are a criminal trying to get away. You're not just scared because it's the cop. Let's be for real here. Let's use our brain. But of course, the wokey wokes and the black liberals don't use their brain. That's one of their problems. And that's why moving forward, they're gonna be either casualties or peasants. We're not gonna have that stuff. We can't go moving forward, bro. Moving forward to our rightful positions in royalty as a black community, if we gonna have these same mindsets, the white supremacy, even when no white man involved in it, we still blaming white supremacy. And why is that? Because not majority, all black liberals and black woke, they have a mindset that the white man is supreme over them. Because that's why you can't never tell. Every time you have a conversation with a black liberal or a black woke, the first thing they gonna do, if you telling them, hey, blacks need to do better than this, what they gonna say? They gonna say, well, the whites do it. The first thing they gonna, and we all know nobody gonna compare themselves to something that's beneath them. They gonna compare themselves to something that they feel is superior over them. And so, only place that white supremacy really, really exists, if you want to be honest, is in the black liberal and the black woke mindset. In black conservatives mindset, black kings and queens mindset, and the black with ruling class mindset, white supremacy is not even a thing in their mind, because nothing can't stop us. We do our thing. So in this next video, I want to show you, and it's cool, of course, it's being narrated by what? A white liberal, right? One of the people who the black liberals want to hug from. So let's move toward to this next video.